Barbell Weekly, entry 9. Another good strong week. We're moving forward. Thinking about maybe hitting some maxes towards the middle of May. Maybe a mock meet for me, Steve, and Kyle possibly. But we'll let the video run a little bit. Yesterday, me and Steve were talking. I said, what should I talk about this week? What should we address in this week's video? And Steve mentioned injury prevention as he's laying on the ground and his back's tight and he didn't get a good warm-up in. And as you guys know, my injury history has been pretty extensive over the last 2 years. But injury prevention is something that you learn as you go, because powerlifting will either eat you up and spit you out, or you'll learn to live with it and survive for a long time. You see guys that are flash in the pan, that, especially in the upper echelons of the strength world, that, you know, they're on covers of magazines for 2 or 3 months, and next thing you know, they're off, and you never hear from them again. And then you hear guys like Louis Simmons, who's freaking 60 years old, mid-60s, and he just pulled, like, you know, 650 out of a rack. Guys with longevity, guys that have been around for a long time. So how do they do that? Me personally, I think it's a big testament to their auto-regulation. They understand when their body is at its max. I think that comes with being an experienced lifter. I definitely had my issues over the years when, you know, I thought I maybe had 30 to 40 more pounds in me, but there was no way, you know. It was kind of just being a hard-headed kid and not knowing when to stop. Now as I get older here, you know, the game is also, we want to get strong, but we also want to stay healthy. And how can we continue to stay healthy and move forward and still train and do what we love to do? So my big thing is I always take it to, you know, I run the conjugate system these days, so I'm taking them to daily maxes, and I want to see how I feel. And a lot of things play into that. You know, your sleep, your recovery, your diet. You know, stress is a life. You know, is the wife upset? Is school going good? Things like that, you know. They all play into your training, and people don't realize that. So you can go into the gym and you might think you feel great, but your body doesn't. Learning that and understanding the difference between overtraining and maybe just a little run down from the other stressors in your life, that's big. That's a good way to kind of keep yourself healthy. A couple things that I like to do, especially from my injury history, is I know my back is all jacked up. I try to hit the reverse hyper, you know, 2 to 3 sets a day all week. So I think that's keeping my back healthy, keeps me healthy, keeps me to remember that, you know, not to forget little things like that. I have to stay on top of the reverse hyper. I have to remember to do it. And moving in the right direction. But injury prevention is something that you have to learn along the way. You know, you got to be able to be smarter and not be an idiot. I guess what's the line Louis says? You know, you don't want to train minimally, and you don't want to train maximally. You want to train optimally. So optimally is, you know, that's what we want to do. Here's Steve moving forward, 185 for 4. He said he went for the 5th rep. He shouldn't have done it earlier in the video. I had a nice max effort bench day. I worked with my fingers. I had my ring fingers right where the grip started, which was really tight grip for me. I worked up to 335 for 1. Kyle had a nice pick with 285 for 2 on the football bar. He's getting more comfortable with that. And I think the biggest highlight so far in the video was Kyle's 470 for 3 off a fat bar. That's really pushing his grip. He's going to move into 425 for 2 here. His upper back rounds right out of the hole, but he is definitely strong enough to grind up through this movement. I mean, that is a tough position to get out of. I know a lot of guys would cave, myself included, but he's grinding through them, and those spinal erectors and upper back are going to be pretty big when he's done here. Our max effort movement on Saturday was we were working form and position with free weight. Steve had a rough night squatting, but he pulled it together deadlifting, as you'll see. He's not very happy with it. His back was tight. He was in a little bit of pain, but he came back and he hit this nice 405 off some blocks. We got an 80-pound of chain, and he finished up through. So he started out rocky, but he finished strong. I worked up to 415 for 3 singles. I was really pleased with my position in the hole. My knees were out, my elbows were down, my chest was up. I fired from the chest first, and the weight moved real easy. My top end strength feels like I could go through a wall right now. I mean, I feel strong, but I had to start building back up that bottom portion of the squat with free weight. I think as I push forward here the next couple of weeks, maybe 2 weeks from now, I'm going to start doing just a straight bar, straight weight. Well, not straight bar, straight weight. Well, straight bar with maybe an accommodating resistance, but we're going to use more of the weight on the bar so I can get used to that weight in the bottom, because I do want to max out towards the middle of May, so we'll see how it goes. Here's my heaviest pulls of the recent dates here. I go 405 and 455 for one. Felt happy. Got to get outside now and do some conditioning. Stay safe. Stay strong.